In favor of Senate bills that would implement the Foundation Budget Review Commission recommendations, including Senate 223, Senate 308, Senate 284, and House 2841, as well as the bill that focuses on Boston, Senate 220. Advocating for equitable and adequate public school funding has been at the core of CPS's mission since its founding in 1982. It's critical that we implement the FBRC recommendations. As you know, you're not meeting criteria from 30 years ago, let alone effectively helping all of our students prepare for their lives in the 21st century. Escalating costs of healthcare and special ed mean we are getting farther away from ensuring that no district falls below minimum requirements for an adequate public education. Underestimating these costs means that all students are negatively impacted, but those in low-income communities suffer the most. So these bills to implement the recommendations are welcome and long overdue. In low-income districts, no matter how committed administrators and teachers are to their students, our outdated formula makes it nearly impossible to meet all students' needs. To underscore how overdue we are, I'll quote Marilyn Siegel, the former CPS executive director, testifying in October 2013 in support of an act to revive Foundation Budget Review Commission. Unfortunately, her comments ring true today, nearly 4 years later. Quote, the formula being used is outdated. The two line items that are most important are health insurance and special ed. The Education Reform Act did not intend to pit special needs parents against regular kids, but this is what ended up happening in communities. The result is larger class sizes, less planning and meeting time for teachers during the day. The achievement gap is also an opportunity gap. We've made progress, but our work is not done. Unquote. This underfunding and growing inequity in Massachusetts public schools also helps perpetuate two false narratives, both of which fuel the dangerous Trump-DeVos agenda to privatize our public schools. First, there's the false narrative that all our public schools are failing, or at least our urban public schools are failing. And second, there's the false idea that if you work smart enough, you can do more with less. As you know, our schools that serve the most needy students have been working to do more with less for decades. But what these schools need is more resources, not the same and certainly not less than the resources available to children with more advantages. We talk a lot about gaps in achievement, but behind those achievement gaps are gaps in resources and opportunities, both before kids arrive in school, during, and after. Our wealthier districts draw on local revenue to hire enough regular education teachers to keep class sizes small, while our lowest income districts see class sizes increase and are unable to keep up with professional development and materials and technology needs. It's like that exercise where everyone starts in a straight line, but some people take several steps backward if they've had a parent who has been unemployed for long periods or if they have experienced trauma, and others take 3 steps forward if both of their parents have postgraduate degrees. We're asking students to meet our standards when they start out 10 steps behind their more wealthy peers, and their school budgets are being inexorably eroded. It's time to own up to our responsibility to all of our public school students and make the investments they need to survive and thrive. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Are there any questions? See none. Thank you for your testimony.